Alright guys, this is gonna be a guide for doing a DM tribute solo, and it's one of the best strategies I know on making gold in the game in vanilla. It requires a hunter class and engineering, essentially. You can maximize your gold by picking up enchanting, so you can disenchant blue items and get brilliant shards that sell pretty good on the auction house. And it's probably gonna be a long video. I'm gonna take my time with it and show you that you don't have to rush through it, and it's really worth it practicing it. I had a difficult time in the beginning and I wiped a lot, but after I did 4 or 5 times it got exponentially easier, and now it's kind of second nature and allows me to make a lot of gold very easily. So give it a try, and you'll also get other benefits like health pots and mana pots that drop from the chest in the end, and also have your chance at forers and other stuff. So I'm gonna show you the quickest way to enter coming from a major city. Probably be this way, and sort of enter the instance, because all the demos are sort of connected, and this is technically east. And enter, you use a reset macro to reset the instance, and that allows you to reset it and log out, and you'll pop in west. So that will save you a few seconds running to here. Also, for this run, ideally you'd want to have dash rank 3 on your pet. This will help pet pulls a lot easier. I don't think it's necessary, but it definitely makes it a lot easier, and there's no reason why you shouldn't have it anyway. And you will also need lesser invisibility potions. 15 seconds is just enough to get you by without any issues, so I would pick up some more of those. From the engineering, you will need the powerful thorium charges. Essentially, all the mats you need is bars, thorium bars, and dense stone, and some cloth, and you can make thorium charges. And there you go. By the way, you saw we popped in west. Also, you don't really need any significant gear. Let's hope we don't get ganked here. Alright, we're good. And right when you enter, you'll see this guy patrol back. This means that sort of tells you something about the rotations here, and this is ideally your best time to, when you learn to become fast, this is going to be an opportune moment to start going in. But I'll take it slow and I'll show you first what do I mean by pet pool, and then I'll just start going through it. So what you will do a lot is you will want to go by a certain group of mobs, and you can use your pet as a sort of body pull aggro, and then send him back to the stay position, and will allow you to do it. And that's essentially all it is. So for example, I can demonstrate with you with this guy here. So I can leave my pet here, have him attack, my pet will aggro, and then I'll send him back. And you'll see that after I put him on passive, the pet will run back to its stay position, and this guy will stay aggro to the pet. Now what's happening here is unusual, but it does occur often, is he has aggro, but this guy sort of like bugged at me, and he will stay sort of on top of me without attacking me. You will see that happen with the scarabs and the hyenas further along in the run. I've never seen it happen on this guy because you never really pull him. The other advantage with the pet pool is ideally you don't want your pet dead after the pet pool, so you want to sort of like try to out of range it, and that will save you time in rising. And I'll show you here the first few steps. So first you cut this corner right here. This guy might aggro to you sometimes. Don't panic if that happens. Go to that corner, wait like 1 second, and then calmly cast your Feign Death. It has occurred recently that these guys have been sort of messing it up, and their Feign Death doesn't work, and that's happened. But honestly, if you take your time and you do it, if you wait like 1.5 seconds before you cast Feign Death, these guys should always reset. You should never have any issues. But most of the time, you don't even pull them unless you are like, you know, like a fat dwarf or something, like the hunters in Simple. But here's also a safe spot. You can basically, as you see, you can stay right here. You don't even have to have the Shadow Melt on, frankly, to stay out of combat with anything right here. So that's a path you want to watch out if you're doing it slowly. It always patrols around this big square. So if you have wiped recently or something like that, and you're trying again, or this is not freshly reset, keep an eye out on when that is, and you can do that with like tracking the beasts. You can see the hyena like patrolling around. And then anyway, you will move right here, and then you will summon your pet. I'd like to put him on stay here because we're about to do the first actual pet pull. So I will target this guy. I make sure my dash is on, but it's also macroed into the attack command right here. And I will send him in. As soon as my pet reaches right about there, he should have enough aggro, body aggro, and I will send him to attack this dude. And that will make my pet run all the way back, and he'll get dismissed while I run by unharmed. So you see, I'm even a little late with my pet pull. That means that he might take a few extra hits. Scattershot this guy, and then my pet is out of range. These guys were aggro to me, and I Feign Death at safe distance. And that's the first part, pet pull. Now you're looking for a nice opening right here. Note that this is not a complete safe spot. There is a hyena patrol. So even though you can stay here for a long time, you can't stay here forever. Basically, you find the right opening, make sure it's clear, and you walk in the center. This center right here is essentially a safe spot, except for Fungus. So only Fungus will aggro to you while you're in here. Nothing else will. And again, you want to look for your other opening over here, and go for it essentially. If you're a Night Elf, you can get away with a lot more craziness than if you're a dwarf with your Shadow Melt. But it just that's what I prefer. But you know, again, if you're a little more conservative as a dwarf, you can do it. Let's see where this guy's gonna go. Alright, he's going that way. So I could have line of sight at him by going here, and you could have patted right here and I would have an aggroed. And there we go. So we see we didn't really encounter the other pat, but you know, you may have to, and if you're a Night Elf, remember they can see through shadow melt. So right here we're gonna unlock the door and put our pet on stay, because this is the second pet pull that we're gonna do. And over here, remember there's the patrolling eye. If you were doing it a little quicker, it would be well timed right now to shoot it, but I don't see the eye. But regardless, you can go anyway. So you see my pet is on stay. I will send him to attack this dude, and as soon as he gets body aggro, I'll send him back, and now I can calmly like scatter this guy to the face, kill him, outrange my pet. Now they're all coming to me, and I just feign death. And there we go. This pull can also be the safest bet. Is a pet pull. It is a pet pull that your pet will die, but no big deal. You can just, you know, take another 20 seconds and res your pet. It's really nothing. A Night Elf can gamble with and run right through it and hope he doesn't get dazed with like a frost trap right here, and auto shot in the Warlock, line of sighting him, and then running past him with Aspect of the Monkey. If you get dazed, you have to though play with your Feign Death and Shadow Melt cooldowns to like get back into safe distance. But I'll show you how to do it, maybe for a beginner or a dwarf. So you just bring your pet right here, put him on stay, and then target the Warlock or the Reaver, whatever, and just send him in. But put him on passive again, which will make him go back to his spot, and then you go right over here, and you can feign death right now and wait for your pet to die, and there you go. Now I will res my pet, and remember that he is still on stay, so I'm gonna make sure to push on follow here. So he doesn't run back. And there you go, you see it. I will give him some food and mend him. And then we go ready for the next one. So another pet pull right here. I'm gonna send him right when my pet crosses right over there. I'm gonna throw him back on passive, and he'll aggro all this pack of scarab swarmers and go back here. So here we go. And I can safely, this is what I was talking about. They are still aggro to my pet, but they are following me, as you can see, or they just stay like that. And here I will run on this ledge right along here, over here to a safe distance, and dismiss my pet. But you have to be careful when you do this and go on the ledge that this guy is not gonna mess that up in any way. You can see this guy patrols all the way to here, so if this guy is like at this position and you're still running over here, just come right here and feign death, and your pet will end up dying to the scarabs, and that's it. And you'll just res him. If you're lucky enough that this guy's patrolling back, then just jump on the ledge. Make sure you're on the ledge, because you don't want to pull that guy. And then your pet will just out of range you, and you won't have to res him, and you can save some time. But again, no rush at the beginning. Just, you know, learn its pull, take your time with it. You know, you're gonna make a lot of gold doing this very easily. So. But my estimate is around 250 gold an hour or so. It can be more. But you know, practice makes perfect, and Even just doing a couple of these runs a week is still a lot more gold than most people make in the game. So right here, when this guy's patting back, we're ready to go. Make sure you are on monkey, and you will concussive shot that guy, scatter shot this guy, and then you'll throw on your aspect of the cheetah. And you see that allows you to go right over here and feign death. Over here, you can just pop out of feign death. Make sure you are well covered though, and I am a paranoid night elf and I always use shadow melt, but a dwarf can just basically pop invisibility potion right away, right around the corner, and then run with aspect of the cheetah on right through this group completely, and then try to be really short on this corner, because you see it runs out right as you are here. So if you do this perfect, you should pop out of invisibility right over there. In the beginning, I would recommend waiting down there, maybe like 10 seconds. If you're well covered in the ramp, the eye is not gonna see you, so there's nothing to worry about. And if you're feeling more confident on this stealth run, you can just basically go right away, and then you can wait for this eye up here, and you can see like you're not pulling aggro on these guys if you stay up here. So we're gonna call our pet right here, put him on stay right at the corner, and then send him in for these guys. And this is the moment when we're gonna use the powerful Sithorium charge to open that gate. So I'm sending my pet in, retrieving him back, put him on passive, and then come right here, put the charge on the door it's casting, and then I'm gonna run right to the corner there, just so I can dismiss my pet because out of range. And I did it barely in time, and now you can feign death, pop up, and then run it. You see, I barely managed that feign death, but in the beginning, if you don't want to like stress yourself and with APM and stuff, like just get in here, let your pet die and re-res him. Like honestly, it's no big deal. I'll mend pet him, and then just move along. Again, we're getting towards the end of it now, so at this point the stakes are higher because you have used your thorium charge and you've popped your invis-pot, so you know it's better to just reap the rewards than just wiping, and then you'll have to put another invis-pot after 10 minutes because it has a 10-minute cooldown. So this first is a pet pool. We'll put the pet on stay back here, and then you send him in and post him back. But the difference here is that we'll actually do Chrome Crash on the same pool too. I will pop Hawk right around when I cut that corner, and then into Monkey, because kind of how my team bindings are set up. But and then I will also pop Deterrence while always facing him, and that's kind of basically what's gonna be like. So send my pet in, push him back, run with Cheetah. Gonna switch into Monkey about now, and then Deterrence, getting hit twice, and then around the corner, and you see I have no problem with wherever the hyenas are, and there you go. And you see I got hit twice over there. You can't get unlucky enough. Both of those are crates, and you die right there, but it's only like 1% around, 1% chance, maybe even less. That I can't remember last time happening to me. I mean, granted, I do have like good gear now, so that I'm sure that's a factor, but have a quite high agi. But still, you know, it's kind of rare. Now, once the feign death is up from cooldown, pop a frost ice cube down, and then pull that dude, and then scatter shot, popping Cheetah, and then running to this safe corner and just feign death. This is a safe corner. You can actually stay in here indefinitely without pulling anything. This patrol will come right in front of you, like right about here, but it will not pull to you. Over here, I put a frost carpet down, and then this is the last pet pull we will do, and we're gonna run to the other corner and try to get our pets dismissed right here. Send him back. Oof, he might actually not survive this. That's why I pop the carpet there, yeah, there you go. He survived. It basically slows down things a bit. And feign death afterwards. Now that we're just left with these 3-pack of hyenas that we have to kill, and I like to fight this right here, right at this right moment. Pet. Start casting aim shot on one of them. I like to put the carpet over there. Do what you can in terms of damage. Wasted my concussive shot right there, but whatever. The wall right there. And you can do all sorts of tricks to do these guys. You can ice cube one of them, nuke the other one, and then feign death and restart the fight. Or you can essentially put cheetah on, keep kiting them, going up and down here, circling them all around. You can do this many different ways. I thought the best way is to put a slow trap right around one of the ledges. So, or actually, preferably you'd want to put it like right here, so that they hit it coming in, and then also when they're coming out, that will maximize their time in the slow, while you're like away kiting them. And now we are basically ready for King Gordoc. So let's see how. So here, alright, so we have a priest. So the observer back there, he can be 3 different classes. Either a priest, so you see his staff, a mage, which he will just have like just a straight, you know, not much decoration shaft, and then another staff with a feather on it. That's the shaman. The shaman and the priest can heal. The mage, you know, doesn't do anything. He's the easiest one to deal with. The shaman just basically heals the guy. He can heal the guy, I mean, and this guy will also can heal the guy and can shield him. And there's not much you can do about the shield. There is once you start getting a little better controlling the distance of these 2 guys. But at the beginning I wouldn't worry about the shields too much. They're just from the priest will always like sometimes throw a shield on King Gordoc. But what you're gonna do is the way you initiate the fight will allow you to space these guys out enough that the observer won't be able to get a heal on King Gordoc pretty much ever. And the way you do this is you want to start the fight right here. You see this stone? I always use this as a marker. You want to be between this column, not between these two. You see there's a broken one, the first complete set right here of columns. And you want to be between this column and the stone, like you sort of see this as a little area here that you start the fight with. And you put an immolation down trap just for the extra deeps, and then you will start casting an aim shot on King Gordoc. And around 2.2 seconds cast left, you will send your pet in, and your pet in with dash. And actually, your pet pet will manage to pet pull before your aim shot lands. So both of these guys, for the first few moments, will be aggroed at your pet. Soon after that, your aim shot will land, and you will obviously pull aggro on King, but the observer will still be trying to attack Belly or your pet. That will means that essentially you will create a little kite train now, where you're gonna be first, King will be chasing you, your pet will be chasing after King Gordok, and the observer will be trying to chase after your pet. And that will space these guys out enough that heals won't be an issue. So let's see how this goes. Again, I'm gonna start casting aim shot when I see this 2.2 seconds. I'm gonna send my pet in, and then as soon as that happens, as soon as I see these guys aggroed on my pet, I will put my pet back on follow to come back at me. I don't want him to get nuked by King or anything, or the observer, and I'm gonna pull him back here. I'm gonna run backwards, and I'm gonna make a jump right here. This will start the whole kite path. Just observe it for the beginning, and I'll try to like talk over it as much as I can. So aim shot, sending the pet in, bringing my pet back. He gets a shield on the priest, and then I jump, and I'll try to get an aim shot of usually, and I apply my serpent sting. And with aspect of the cheetah, always I start running around, and I cut right into this little guy right here, and I jump. And that's all there is with the kite. Basically, this is the basic one. You can keep doing this indefinitely, reapplying your serpent sting, and you'll be fine. Or you can try to sneak in some auto shots, like I do, to make things faster. This is the big DPS spot where you can basically get aimed shot, auto shot. You can see the sequence here actually, I don't have to say it. And with 3 serpent stings, you can essentially keep up serpent sting like close to 100% of the fight. The first one was right after that jump. The second one's right here when you get in range. And the third one will be right after we jump. And note that I'm not using my spells here efficiently, I'm just trying to show you a little bit about the kite. Don't be afraid to get dazed right there. You have a lot of time to have that wear out and continue. All you have to get down is the essential kite path you see, I like to strafe a lot. I think that's the easiest for me, but it depends on playstyle and how to save the most time. And then you can keep a really big distance with him. Like here, you can get a auto shot, multi shot, even. Rotation, and then again reapply the serpent sting. Then I'll try to get auto shot first, aim shot, auto shot. You can even get one last greedy auto shot here, but I wouldn't recommend you doing that in the beginning because he can melee you. If he does melee you, it's not the end of the world. You will get dazed, but you can do the following to save yourself. And I can try demonstrating that here, but you can essentially feign death, and as soon as you feign death, he will go on your pet, but what he will do is actually also charge you. The charge will hit you for damage, but it will also knock you away, which gives you enough time to distracting shot him and then continue running with the daze having wore off. And that's how you can save it, but you have to be prepared to soak some damage from the charge. After you feign death here and your pet's still alive, be prepared for a charge and a knockaway. And that charge and knockaway, when used at the wrong moment, it can cause issues. For example, if right on this first jump, well actually, let me dismiss my pet here because he's been bugging lately, staying aggro to my pet. And there you go, as you can dismiss it, it's fine. But anyway, you know, that you saw the kite, that was it, you know, you just jump around, reapply Serpent Sting, get aura shots out, get multis out when you can. The most important one is you gotta learn this a little bit, like to get enough line of sight here to land your AM shot, have you walk on the outside. And if you get greedy here and he melees you right about here, and you have to feign death because you're dazed, you will get knocked right into these guys when he charges. So that's not ideal. So what you want to try to do, if you're getting ready to feign death because you got greedy or something, just try to stick to the wall. That way you can knock you in direct line with the wall and you won't pull these guys. Whereas if you're at an angle, then you will get knocked in their direction. And that's really how it goes. Now you can get all the rewards for it and practice it and make it faster. You can do around like 50 minutes a run if you do it really quickly. I'm sure there's some ways that you can do it even faster than that, but I have not min-maxed it to that extent. But that's kind of how it goes. We got the mana pots, we got the health pot, let's see the loot. And oh, one thing that you should watch out for is right here, there's a red book that spawns. You should try to loot that. That can have like awesome like class quests for items and even forers. So keep an eye out on that. I'll show you where the other locations are too. At this point everything is friendly, so you can, you know, you're the king. So everyone loves you here. And there you go. Sure, if you can watch the part again of the kite and see kind of how the shot rotation goes, especially if you see it here, the way it lands and all that, the sequence it lands. That's probably gonna be helpful. And now you can just jump right down here. Second book spawns right here somewhere. But I don't see it. And don't goof up over here, because these guys stay unfriendly to you, the scarabs. So make sure you do a pet pull right here and send your pet backwards. Throw aggro to him. He will dismiss in a second. And now you can feign death and bring him back. Nice. Oops, sorry, I forgot to. Oh, there's a book right there. That's pretty awesome. And our buff. This guy gives the AP buff. Definitely get it. You'll help these learns a lot. And that's the red book that you're looking for. This is the red location. This is the third location. see what it got, what it has. Ah, nothing. Too bad. Too bad. And over here, I think that's all with the book locations. Over here there is a vendor. He also sells this stamina buff right here. In terms of what do you sell, what do you disenchant? Weapons and trinket, and this trinket gets sold. Anything basically above 5 gold, generally vendor if it's a blue. So sell. I always vendor the greens. I've never gotten lucky. Sell all the gray. Then disenchant everything else. So you see 345. Large brilliant shards are like 4 gold or 5 gold. So I would still disenchant these. Disenchant everything. Sell that stuff or send them to guildies if they need. And disenchant the legs. Disenchant the shoulders. And pick up your stamina buff. Right here. Note that you can boost the rogues through this also, or any stealthers. And try to help out the guildies with the mana pots, the healers. Cut up some deals and make money. It's all about volume. So the more you do this, the more money. And there you go. That's the end of it. You can basically walk out here, reset, and then come back right here. And start this. I'm actually gonna post a video of me probably doing it quickly, maybe with without commentary, and at another time. So let me know if you guys have any questions, or you can whisper me in game. Things change here all the time, so as things get patched in and stuff is fixed. So, you know, maybe this might get out of date at some point, but it should be like a good starter. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was probably a little too long. I hope my voice isn't too tiring. So see you guys later.